What's up, everybody? Skyhook Garage here. Today we're going to be working on a 2020 Africa Twin. We're going to be putting the upper air wind deflectors on the bike here. They're going to go right here. As you can see, I've already taken some of the hardware out to show you something that I ran into an issue with, and hopefully you guys, if you have the same issue as me, then it might be a little bit of a workaround or completely ignore it all together, and I'll explain that shortly here. So upper air wind deflectors, that's the part number you want. It's the 08R73 MKS E20. I'm going to provide a link to the description below, and that is going to take you to Honda Power Sports website, and that will take you directly to these air wind deflector kit. Now, the air wind deflectors come in as a pair, one for the left side here, and then there's going to be another one for the right side. And they're going to sit on the bike just about like that, all right? And they're going to kick the wind out past the rider or past the shoulders of the rider, or so they say, and I haven't tried them out yet, but I'm interested to see how they work. So a couple things that come with the kit. You got the two air wind deflectors here. You're going to have, this is one of the old bolts, I'll show you in a second here. You should have two of the longer screws here. All right, you're going to have 4 of these plastic washers. I already got one on the old screw there, 2, 3, 4, 2 rubber washers, 2 collar pieces. They're going to go into one of the holes on the air deflector so you don't crush the air deflector. This is made of metal. And then 2 grommets. This is one of them, little groove in the middle there, nice and squishy. I already have one installed over here. And as you can see, before we get to the actual bike over there, you're going to want to squish that into the hole that's in the upper portion of each side of the air deflector. That one has one in it. This guy does not. And as you can see, the hole on the other side is considerably smaller. You'd never get the grommet in there, so it really can only fit in one side, so it squishes nice and easy into there. Now the issue that I had was, and we'll get into it a little bit more on the bike, but you have to remove, when you remove some of the hardware, you'll notice that the thread size on the upper screw is different than the lower screw, as you can see right there. So the plastic washers that I got with this kit, they came all the same size, and you're supposed to put one of each of these plastic washers onto the screw first, and that way the plastic washer will keep from marring up the plastic air wind deflector. So unfortunately, I do not have a plastic washer, 2 of them I should say, for the new upper screws that you're going to use. Now I could drill these out a little bit because obviously they're all the same diameter in there, but what I think I'm going to end up doing is, when you use the longer, bigger screws for the upper portion, you have this collar here that mounts, it pushes through on the inboard side, just like that, and when you tighten it, it doesn't allow you to really tighten it too far. It almost acts like a stop bushing or like a gap bushing, so you can't over tighten that. So I don't think I'm really going to need a plastic washer on that side. The link in the description below for this product, that link that you take it to, when it takes you to the Honda website, it's also going to have the PDF file for the installation instructions. Installation instructions says that all 4 of these washers are theoretically supposed to be the same size. It also tells you that you're going to save the upper screw here, which is too short, which is why they provide 2 longer screws for you. You're going to save that, and then you're going to use it down on the other side of the air deflector where you took out this guy. But, I mean, anybody with half a sense realizes that you can't take a larger size threaded screw, take a smaller size threaded screw and put a bigger threaded screw in there. You can, but it involved way more work and tapping a nut, cert, or whatever's in there that holds this smaller size in. So obviously the instructions aren't all that accurate. I'm a little bit disappointed, especially coming from Honda, but regardless, let's get into the install. Real quick before we get started, you're going to need a 5mm Allen, some isopropyl alcohol, a nice shop towel, nice clean shop towel. I have this cleaner here, just a little bit of a wax spray detailer, just to get the bugs and whatnot off of the motorcycle and the fairings before I do the install. So let's get the camera set up and we'll do the install on the bike. Alright guys, so like I said, before you get started, get a nice clean shop towel, get all the bugs off of the fairing area here. You can take the the new air wind deflector, and you can see the 3M tape, okay? 3M tape's going to hold the outside portion of the deflector that touches the fairing. It's going to hold it against the fairing firmly. Again, the installation instructions say ambient temperature should be 70 degrees or greater, and it says if it's not, you're supposed to heat up the fairing with a hair dryer. And it also tells you that the adhesive for the 3M tape is going to take 24 hours to really get nice and sticky and stick to the bike. The warmer it is out, the better. So with that being said, it's a little over 70 right now, and I did plan on taking the bike for a ride, so I don't know, we'll see how this goes. But before you get started, clean off the area where the deflector is going to go, then get some isopropyl alcohol and wipe the same area off. You want it to be solvent-free, no fingerprints, no oils from your hands, no foreign substances of any sort. That's going to allow the 3M tape to really stick to the bike. So, first step is, which I have already done, you're going to take 5mm screw out of here. That's going to be the smaller threaded one. You're going to obviously hold on to that guy. And then you're going to take the heavier duty 5mm screw out of here. Now I'm saying 5mm because that's the size of the head is. I know the diameter of the bolt is different. I'm just referencing it by the tool that you're going to use to take them off. So take this guy out. That's the one you're going to end up getting rid of. You're going to reuse, or you're going to replace it with the longer one. Throw it in the junk drawer. Don't throw it away. It'll come in handy somewhere else, I'm sure. Or in the event that these don't work out for you, you want to have that shorter screw to put back in here if you take the bike back to stock. So take those two out, set them off to the side. Like I said before, the next step is going to be putting that grommet in there. If you haven't done the grommet yet, you want to make sure you get that in there. Just squishes right in, nice and easy. And then the hard metal collar is going to go on the inboard side. Press that guy in there. It's pretty firm right now, but if it's colder out, that might fall out. So just make sure that, you know, it's firmly in there and it's in there when you go to put it on the bike. Show you real quick how to put that in there. So it's just get the little groove started in there. And you're just going to work it around. Wiggle it a little bit. Make sure, look at it all directions. Make sure it's all the way in there. Good to go. Insert the metal collar. That guy's nice and in there, nice and firm. Looks good. Now, the screw that you took out here, it did not have any washers or any hardware on it, so you want to put one of those white plastic washers on there. Then you can start this one through the bottom portion of it and put the rubber washer on that side. It's also going to help you keep it in there. It comes off a little bit, but it'll help you with the installation. All right. The next step is going to be, you want to peel this off just a little bit so it's down below. Basically, the best way to reference is it so you can access it while the deflector's on the bike. You don't want to peel it too far. All right. All three of them. They got little tabs on them. Allows you to grab it, get it started. Get it started and down out of the way. Make sure you don't touch the 3M tape that's already on there. And this one's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. I can't get it off, so I'm just going to take it all the way off. Can't really get to that one once you get started with this thing. So, screws ready to go. You got your tape prepped ready to go. You got your collar and your bushing in there. You got your longer screw, the bigger thread screw. All right. We're going to come over and just basically make sure your tabs, your red little pull tabs down here, are exposed so you can get to them once you start pressing it on. Try to get this bottom screw started if you can. And then get that upper screw started. I want you to use a torque wrench, but this is plastic. Don't go crazy. The installation instructions is going to have a torque spec for you. Get them snug. Once Once they're snug, you're going to push on where all three of the contact points for that glue was. Push there, push down here, and as you're pushing firmly, you're going to try to remove that tape if it's going to release properly for me. There we go, nice and firm. Same thing on the other one. Bam. Push against it, keep some pressure on there for 5 or 10 seconds, make sure it's really nice and stuck on there. Now you can snug up the rest of these screws. Now this one down here, the one on the lower one, it's probably one of those Honda rubber nut grommets where the nut's inserted into a piece of rubber and that rubber is sitting in a machined hole in the plastic below it. So this one might be a little bit more of a pain in the butt to get tight, but again, it's plastic on plastic on plastic. You don't have to go crazy tightening it. Nice and snug. And this guy up here is going to be metal on metal. So you don't want to go crazy, but you want it to be pretty firm. It holds the rest of the upper stay for the TFT display and whatnot. And you can tell too when you remove this nut up here that it was pretty snug on there already. So you kind of get a feel for how tight you should have it. Do a quick visual check, make sure that everything looks good and it's sticking where it should be, which it looks like it is. Looks nice and good. And it's going to be the same thing on the other side. All right, so they look good. Gives the bike a little bit more of an aggressive look. Very subtle styling difference there. And they look pretty substantial. They feel good when they're on there. They look good, and hopefully they function well. So, nice look. A little bit beefier from the cockpit. Not a whole lot. They're kind of hidden behind the rest of the controls and whatnot. But man, do they look good. So, hope you guys found this video helpful. Not too hard of an install. It's actually, I think, out of all the accessories that are going to go on this bike, it's probably going to be one of the easiest ones to do, one of the installs to do. So, hopefully this video helped you guys out if you watched it. And definitely hit that subscribe button and like this video. I appreciate all the feedback that you guys drop in the comment section below. Let me know specifically if you guys have that same issue with that lower screw there, not having the correct hardware for the washers and whatnot. Like I said, the installation instructions, they show one thing, and you know, the kit that I got, it was complete. It just didn't seem to have the right washers. Didn't have a plastic washer that fits that larger thread screw up there. So yeah, let me know in the section below if you got any questions, comments. Definitely subscribe, like I said before, because over the next couple weeks or months, I'm going to end up doing all the rest of the accessories to it. We got some lower wind deflectors that are going to go down here along this fairing portion here, try to kick the wind out past your legs and whatnot. I got the center stand already, so that's going to be the next video up. Get that center stand on here. And yeah, we're going to do that one. We're also going to do the crash bars and the fog lights. That one I'm excited for because I'm going to show you guys how to go into the TFT display and set that function up, because like with the Denali kits on a lot of these other adventure sport bikes and adventure touring bikes, you're going to have to use like an auxiliary switch or auxiliary power source. The Africa Twin has plugs for the factory head fog lights, in the fairings tucked away in there. And then you can use your function switch up here. Focus. Use your function switch up here, and you're going to be able to control it from the TFT display. And then also eventually, once I win the lottery, I can get the aluminum Honda panniers on there. I mean, they are so much more expensive than the aftermarket versions or the plastic versions, but damn, do they look good on this bike. Thanks for watching.